The practice of the presence of God in modern English is a translation of the timeless spiritual classic written over 300 years ago in French. The practice of the presence of God is here presented in a language understandable to the 21st century reader. Brother Lawrence was a 17th century Christian who had a spiritual awakening at the age of 18. Seeing a tree in the winter, his soul suddenly opened to the presence of God. Within 6 years, he had entered a Carmelite monastery in Paris, where he worked chiefly in the kitchen and cooking and cleaning. He practiced a simple and natural method. He merely turned his attention to God's presence available at all times during any activity. He reports that he was as fully present with God while washing dishes in the kitchen as he was partaking of the sacrament in worship. The profound peace and joy evident in Lawrence's life attributed many visitors who sought to learn the secret of his unique spiritual practice. Originally published shortly after his death, this book consists of personal conversations and letters which communicate how one experienced God at all times. Also included in the book are the spiritual maxims. These papers were discovered after his death and published by the Archbishop of France in 1692, the year after Brother Lawrence's death. One of the most stimulating aspects of the precious book is Brother Lawrence's deep conviction that prayer is not saying prayers alone, but a way of living in which all we do becomes a prayer. A prayerful life is a life in which all we do, eating and drinking, working and resting, playing and praying, is done for the glory of God and God alone. Every time I pick up this little book and let its words come to me, I realize that what this simple brother who lived in the 17th century had to say to people who visited him and wrote to him has only gained in importance during the centuries after his death. I would like to give you a sample of the maxims. First, means of attaining the presence of God. Second, necessarily practice for attaining to spiritual life. Third, it is required of us to worship God in the Spirit and in truth. Fourth, the union of the soul with God. 5, the presence of God. And 6, practice for realizing the presence of God. 7, the benefits of the presence of God. The simple way of Brother Lawrence is indeed a great challenge for us today. With all the distractions of social media and changing times, it is a hard way, but a way worth following. It is the way to God. You can buy this book on Amazon in paperback. Thank you for listening. Thank you.